Hi guys, it's Professor Olson. I'm doing the midweek critique for week 2, and we're looking at some icon sketches. So first up we have John. All right, John, you need to have 12 sketches, and they need to be placed into the InDesign template as you see here. This does not meet the requirements for the assignment, and I get the feeling you haven't really followed the directions for this. So make sure you understand the assignment and what's required. Make sure you're watching the live session in the beginning of the week. And this submission, I mean, you should care about how things look and how you're presenting yourself, your work. This just doesn't, it's not up to standard. So make sure you're doing it right. All right, Megan, Sweet Tooth Gummies. This is a wonderful exploration. You read your creative brief. You're actually drawing on some really interesting ideas. And I'm having a hard time picking the ones that I think are the best. The snail sort of stood out as a kawaii snail. That would be really fun. I'm trying to think if you can sort of tie it into Sweet Tooth Gummies more. The Tooth Fairy is also very fun. And the cat, the Mineko Nico cat, that's redundant, but anyway, maybe it's got a gummy around its neck. You've got to like give it a little alternative feeling so that it's not just an image that we've seen before. So right now I'm kind of lined up with 5, 6, and 12, but many of these others are also potential options. This is really riches of ideas. So I would stay away from yin yang because that's kind of like a logo in itself, even though you've given a nice twist on it. But it's still a good idea. It's just probably one of the weaker ones out of everything. The sumo, like what makes him different than regular sumo? So that's where I came out 5, 6, 12. 11 is cute too, but if maybe it was a gummy body or something like that. I don't know. Good job though. All right, James, Thor's coffee. So you've got only 9 out of the 12. You've got Thor's helmet with a coffee cup and a hammer with lightning bolts and a coffee cup. This looks like a coffee cup made out of Thor's cape and body armor. Thor's hammer on a cup with lightning bolts. Thor's hammer with a coffee cup. A hammer crushing and lightning crushing coffee beans. Hammer and axe with a coffee bean. This is that sort of Celtic knot type thing. You did some good research. I can see that. I'd love to see 3 more ideas. Out of these, I think number 1 could work. I don't think you need to put the hammer on there. There are other things from Celtic or from Nordic culture that you can draw upon. Look at Valkyries and things like that. Maybe there's more of a character of Thor. These all feel a little complicated and kind of diffused. This one is the coffee cup, but it's also the hammer. I think I like that one the best out of all of these. But maybe the helmet as well. And then you kind of need a 3rd idea. And I'm not quite sure what that is. So keep working. You've got a good start here. Samantha, cactus cookies. So this is American Southwestern culture. You've got a little bit of that in number 3. A lot of these are pictures of cactuses and using the initials. Don't use monograms, don't use initials. Just create a cool image that sort of becomes the symbol of your product. It's like some of these botanicals are kind of interesting, but they don't make it a good icon. They're not standing out. Obviously, number 1 sort of jumps out, but it's, it's a cactus. So what makes yours different? Let's see, number 1. Number 2 is a different kind of cactus. So it's a little better because it's a little different. Number 3 is interesting, but it doesn't really come together as sort of an icon. Uh, and number 4 is another cactus. So once you say, well, I'm going to use a cactus, you should like figure out what's the best execution of that. And that's one idea. This number 3, the Southwestern theme, I think that that's an area you want to explore more. But if you could like create this more of as an icon instead of like a snapshot of a pattern, it looks like. 5. Yeah, this feels complex. 6 is the CC beside a cactus. Yeah, like I said, don't do the initials. I think there are other things you could draw upon. I would look at more characters. Maybe they're animal spirits, maybe birds, things like that. Kind of Southwestern type imagery to create more sort of an iconic image for this. But definitely steer away from the letters, especially because it's CC. It always makes me think of Coco Chanel. So keep going. All right. Lyric, you are also doing sweet tooth gummies. Don't put the type in, you're not going to put type on the icon on the picture. I think number 1 works as a character. Blowing bubble gum doesn't seem right because it's not, that's like a different candy. You got a lot of teeth, and wrapped up pieces of candy. Think more metaphorically, and maybe there's something it's kind of like the candy wishes it was a gummy, or it's in love with a sweet tooth. I don't know. It's confusing. It's complex, and those are not qualities you want. Just looking at this snapshot right here, number 1, number 11, no type in the icon, make it separate. So see if you can come up with a third idea that isn't a tooth or a piece of candy. When you think of gummies, they're not like usually wrapped individually either. So I would keep thinking a little bit. Number 8, what's that? More teeth, yeah. Yeah, so keep thinking, look at anime stuff and see what you can come up with. All right, Clara. So this is Sol Beso. There's a lot of redundancy here. I see a lot of similar kind of sun theme, but I understand why that is. I would say what jumps out at me, number 8, number 2. Those 2 seem like the best sort of visual elements. Make sure you fill the frame with these, or change the frame fill to none so that you don't have the gray surround there. Let's see. Yeah, so I think number 8, number 2, and then lips maybe could work. I'm not really in love with these executions of lips, but because it's Sol Beso, I can understand that. Number 4, so maybe 2, 4, and 8 might be the best ones. But like I said, there seems to be a lot of redundancy here. I would try to sort of branch out in a different direction, see if that brings you to something else. All right, Cameron, Tortuga jelly beans. Carla actually gave you good feedback here. These are just pictures of jelly beans. This tells me you didn't do any research on this, or if you did, you ignored it. You're not bringing in any sort of imagery that's more symbolic or kind of telling a brand story. These are just pictures of the product configured different ways, and you did the initials, which I don't want you to do. So number 5, a heart. I mean, you got to read your creative brief. This is adult flavored jelly beans. Tortuga, like she said, means tortoise, but it also is a place. It's about pirates. It's about the Caribbean. Watch Pirates of the Caribbean again. Think about Johnny Depp. Maybe he's a spokesperson. Like, what would that look like? turtles, yes, but give a turtle a character. Like, does a turtle have a personality? Is he the bartender? How does this come together with the creative brief? Right now, none of these are acceptable as logos. So go back to the drawing board, read your creative brief, do a little more research, and see what you can come up with. All right, that's all we got for today. If you have not gotten a critique and you need one desperately, reach out on Slack. You really should have turned in everything by now. So I'm hoping you guys are moving forward, and I can't wait to see what you do. Talk to you later.